Hi guys, my name is Kadasia KM and welcome to my channel. So today the topic that I wanted to tackle is lessons that I have learned, I guess from my 20s into my early 30s, because I'm now in my early 30s and my birthday is coming up, so I've been feeling very reflective about just how my life has been and what I've learned through the years. Because as you go through life, you do get lessons. I think when you're younger and you're mostly when you're a teenager, you do feel, oh, I know everything in the world. When your parents try to tell you something, you're like, I have everything figured out. I know everything. You know nothing. And then when you're a bit older, you're like, wait, my parents were right, or my mom was right, or, the older generation at the time when you were younger, they knew what they were talking about. And it's quite interesting that when you're quite young, especially in your teenagehood, no one can tell you anything. And it's interesting how you're only able to accept and learn these lessons later on in life. Sometimes I'm always like, it would have been so good if some of us had the knowledge that we have as we're growing older when we're younger. But the fact is that you're only able to learn from your experiences. Most of the time people tell you you don't have to learn from your own experiences. You can learn from other people's experiences. If they've gone through difficult things, you don't need to repeat them. If they've gone through instances of having issues or having troubles, you can learn from them, and you don't have to go through the things that they have gone through. But I think in our minds we always feel like we're the exception. I don't know if any of you have watched the movie. Is it He's Not That Into You? I think that's the movie where this guy is kind of teaching this lady how to date and how to be able to get like someone to spend the rest of their life with. And when they're going through the different dating stages, and she's saying, but this person has, this person has had this experience, this person has had this experience. And the guy is like, because that's the exception. There's always the exception to the rule, and not everyone is the exception to the rule. And the funny thing is, sometimes we always think that we will be the exception, but the truth is that most, like a majority of us, or the population, is not the exception. The exception is just a very small what is it called, a very small percentage in the in the grand scheme of things, I would say. So for me, it's always important to learn from other people, see how I can improve myself. But of course, this has come with time. When I was younger, I just used to be like, I will not listen to anyone. I know everything and stuff like that. Especially being a firstborn, we always have those kinds of what is it called, like characteristics. Yes, I think that's the word. Yeah, so today I'll just be going through, I think as I'm turning a year older, I was like reflecting over what I have learned and what I can be able to share for maybe people in their 20s or people even who are younger, that what I've learned as I go through life, what has stood out for me. And I hope you will be able to learn something from me as I go through my list. I've put down like just a tiny list of the things that I've learned, and I hope it will be helpful to all of you. Yeah, so welcome. So the first point and most important for me is putting God first. Me being a Christian, and just growing up in the Christian religion, you are always taught about God. And of course, with God, you're taught all these values of being kind, of being good, of being understanding, or not doing things that will hurt other people. And for me, going through the years, I have learned that it is all those values are very important, and putting God first in everything is always so important, because it gives you a grounding in life. Because I think there also reaches a point for many people some people in their 30s, some people in their 40s, or even in their 50s, where you have people maybe starting to question their lives and trying to find their purpose and trying to find what they need to do with their lives, because sometimes the things that we feel will fulfill us are not the things that actually fulfill us. And so for me, putting God first in everything has been quite helpful. It's given me the grounding, it's given me the kind of the roadmap of how to navigate life and how to be able to deal with different situations, because life throws like different things at you as you go along. And I think that would take me to my next point, which is life does not always go as planned. Most of us, when we are younger, when you're in teenagehood or just like early 20s, you're like, this is what I want to do with my life. Because when you're like in teenagehood, most of your life, even when you're much younger, in maybe between 1 and 10, and in your teenagehood, most of your life is planned out for you. And it's only like, I think after like in your 20s is when you're like, okay, wait, I have to now start figuring things out on my own. And I think for me, learning that came so much later in life, because growing up, I always thought, okay, life is supposed to go this way, because when you're younger, you're told, go to school, get good grades, get that job, go to uni, get that job, and your life, I guess, is supposed to be perfect after that. And they don't, I guess, help you navigate when you are having times of hardship, because I guess when you're in school and you're expected to always be at the top, and then sometimes you're not at the top, it's always met with a lot of resistance, or being scolded, for example, by your parents and all that. But as you navigate life and you face different kinds of hardships, I think before, it's the hardship comes from, of course, dealing with your parents when maybe you've gotten bad grades or done something wrong. But then when you actually go into life itself, you do find that there are so many other challenges that come along, and sometimes the things that we think will happen as we thought. Because, for example, maybe you have this book where we have written what we need to happen. You're like, okay, I want to finish university by this age, I want to get a job by this age. For some, maybe I want to get married by this age, have kids at this age. And then as you go along, you find out that these are quite beautiful plans, but at the end of the day, life does not always go that way. Life has its ups and downs. Life has things that happen in between, for example, I would say for me, I was like, for example, maybe by this age I will have kids, by this age, but yeah, that hasn't happened. But that's a story for another day. I think I will share in another episode. But so for me, it's just having that in mind. And I think if children from an early age are told that, what, that kind of mentality is instilled in them, it will help to navigate different life situations, because sometimes because this was not instilled in you and things don't go as planned as you had planned them, because life before was quite planned and everything went according to plan. You went to primary, you went secondary, you went to uni, because these are stages of life that have been planned out. But then after that, then watch, everything else that you planned, you believe will go according to how everything went before. But then now you're in this situation where, life is definitely not going as planned. So I think just having that flexibility in terms of just different areas of life. I would say, for example, for my career, because I'm an accountant, before, I don't know if I thought I would actually be an accountant. I think before I thought I would become an entrepreneur, start my own business and be able to build it from that, just because in high school I did um, I did thrive in business in the business class, and I got quite good grades. So I always thought of going to business and all that. But yeah, of course, after high school, I just went into doing the next thing that was close to business, which ended up being finance, and then now I'm an accountant. But what I would say, for example, about my career is that it's had its ups and downs. There's nothing that has been, for example, a straight line in terms of my career path. There's a place where I started doing something different, and then I went into finance. Now I'm in accounts kind of fully. And of course, even as life goes by, I think because of my mentality of, okay, life will not always go as planned. So just be open to the different scenarios that might happen in your life. So because of that, I'm a bit open minded when it comes to like navigating different scenarios that might come through as we just go, as I go through in life. So my career has always been up and down. It's not been a straight line. I've gone into different industries. I've not been in the same industry all along. I've worked for a charity. I've worked for financial services. I've worked for financial management services as well. So I've worked in different industries. I've worked with different people. I've faced different scenarios. So it's not always been kind of an upward trend. I would say it's kind of been an up and down situation. So I think be open-minded about having a career that in which you will go through different stages, I would say. Another important point that I would say is investing in female friendships. So on my side, I may not have a million friends, but I do have like a close knit group of friends. So I would say, because at the moment I'm in a different country, in the country that I'm in, I've been here around 4 years. I do have like 3 very close friends, and they're the ones who I would do most of the things with. If it's travel, if it's having catch-ups, if it's having emotional support. And sometimes it's different because you have some friends coming in and you think, okay, this is the friend that will stay, and then maybe they just disappear. I don't know how that happens. I think friendship, maybe I should just have another episode just on friendships, because for me and friendships, I have gone through different phases, different seasons of friendships. But at the moment, I would say I do have 3 close friends here, and 3 very close friends back in Kenya. And it's very important to have female friendships because they provide kind of a grounding. I think also the reason maybe why sometimes most of these days we have to rely on therapists and advocate for therapy, because I am in therapy, is because we don't, of course, have those extremely close friends who we can share with everything, who we can go and dance with, who we can be able to have conversations with, and all these things. Not, of course, because of our own selves, but of course because of how the culture is right now, and how we are more into the social media space than, for example, actually meeting people and having maybe one-to-one catch-ups or doing things together. So I would not say we are blaming that on anyone, but I think having those close female friendships has always been so important for me, and it's still so important for me, and I try as much as possible to cultivate them. So even the friends, for example, who are in Kenya, I'm always trying to communicate with them. I'm always trying to have calls with them as much as possible. Because maintaining those friendships is really good. So if friendships is not something that you're looking into right now, either female or male, I would say, but of course for me being a female, it will be to focus on my female friendships more than anything else. And it's been very beneficial for me, because having them has taken me through, when you're going through something difficult, you have people you can talk to who are not, for example, your family. Because also sometimes if you're going through something difficult, for example, and you tell your family, they will always hold a grudge against that person. But if it's a friend, you can tell them, and if it's a good friend, they will move with you through the seasons and be able to understand if you have a good friend. That's what I would say. And then the other thing that I have learned through time is, of course, parents. For me, my mom. Before I was, of course, not that close with her, but as time has gone by, I have identified that it's very important to be friends with your parents, and for me with my mom. I think as I've grown older, when I'm going through things, I'm able to have conversations with her. I'm able to ask her for support. I'm able to ask her for her opinions. And it's quite an interesting dynamic, because when we're younger, we feel, especially teenagehood and maybe early 20s, where we feel like we know everything, shock on us. We're always kind of in this rebellious state. But now when you come into the phase where life is lifing, and you're able to, for example, see your parents as human beings, because I think when you're younger, you're just like, this person is, they're my parent, what do they know? But as you grow older and you even get into the age maybe that they were in when they were giving back to you and stuff like that, it's quite interesting to be like, okay, my mom was this age when she was, maybe when I was this age. And it's quite interesting to be like, okay, they were just a person, they were just someone trying to navigate life, trying to figure everything out, and you're able to humanize them. Because sometimes when you're younger, you don't humanize your parents. You're just like, okay, they're just who they are. But as you grow older, you're like, okay, I can humanize my parents. I understand, they were just a person as I was growing up. They were not this maybe not so nice person or anything else, but they were quite like, they're just a person, just a girl, just a man, if you have a dad. So I think that was quite interesting for me to just come into that realization. And then the other thing that I have come to terms with for me is dropping the desire for perfection. I think for me, just being a firstborn, and I don't know why most firstborns, we do have this desire to be perfect, this desire for perfection. I think maybe because you're the first one, and when you're the first child, of course, your parent is trying to learn everything. So they're like, no, you have to be perfect. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that. And then it gets inside of you. So for the longest time, I was logged straight into perfection. I wanted to be perfect, and nothing was going to get in the way of me being perfect. But as I've grown older and as I've gone through life, I have come to realize that there is nothing like perfection. The only person who is perfect is God. None of us can be perfect. And even when you look at other people, you're like, okay, there's no one who is perfect, so who am I to expect perfection, or for people to expect perfection from me? So I think that is one of the things that I've realized, given myself grace when, for example, I mess up, but not the intentional messing up, I would say, but just just life, because sometimes life be lifing, and you're going to make mistakes. You're not always going to get it right. May it be at work, may it be with people. Sometimes you may say things that, for example, hurt another person. What do? You apologize. Sometimes in your career you may make some mistakes. What do? You try to make it up, and you try to to see how to correct them. But I think being in a situation where you think that you will always be perfect, I would say, that doesn't exist. So give yourself grace. If you're that kind of person who has a personality like me, give yourself grace, and just knowing that we are human, and no human is perfect. So that's what I would say about that. And then enjoying life in the moment. I think just tying that into perfection. Just enjoying life in every season, because there's no perfect season. There's different seasons in life, and in every season, because you may be in a season where things are going great. And I think when things are going perfect, or things are going really good, that's a nice season because you can enjoy. But what about, for example, when things are not going good? When for example, you're looking for a job and you can't get a job, does that mean that now you just become sore the whole time, and you don't enjoy the good moments that are happening as you wait for the job, or as you wait for whichever thing that you're waiting for. So I would say enjoy every moment, enjoy the different seasons, because no season is here to stay forever. Each season is here for a time, and it will go. If you read the Bible, Ecclesiastes speaks about having a time for everything, a time to build and a time to destroy, a time for everything. So I would say, live in whichever season you're in. Try to enjoy the good moments that are happening. Don't always wait for the things to be perfect for you to enjoy. Otherwise, you would miss the moments. You would miss the time where your friends something good is happening in their lives, but because something bad was maybe happening or something was not working out for you, you are not able to celebrate them, and then you miss the moment. So I would say enjoy life. If you're going through something difficult, go to therapy, do some self-reflection, do some journaling. Because I think for me, when I was going through a very difficult time, because in life you go through different difficult seasons, and I think as I go through just reflecting, because for me this creating of this vlog is just to be able to reflect and kind of put whatever I've gone through or my life through words, and just for memories as well. So as I go through it, I reflect about the amazing things that have happened, because for me to say that there are no good things that have happened in my life would be a lie. There are amazing things that have happened in my life. So I have to do a take 2, because while I was filming, my camera went off. So I'll just continue from where I left off. The next point that I will speak about is therapy and self-reflection. So I think, as I've mentioned before, I have been in therapy and I have had a lot of self-reflection, especially when you're going through very difficult situations, or you're just in a period where you're going through something so difficult. I would say, therapy helps. For me, prayer helps, and self-reflection. So self-reflection would be in the form of, for example, journaling, having conversations with people as well about what you're going through, if it's friends, if it's family. That is really helpful. And if you want a book, for example, for journaling, I will link a book below that could help you, especially if you're going through something difficult, to just navigate your feelings, see what you can write down, and be able to help you through that season. I also link down, when I was speaking about friendships, I will link down my website, where I'm basically bringing women together from different areas to be able to just have conversations, have a community. So I will also put the link down below if it's something that is of benefit to you. If it's something that is not of benefit, I totally understand. You can just definitely ignore it. So the other thing that I wanted to speak about is being your best authentic self. So I think for me, that has taken time. Of course, it's not something that has come, that came just like that, because I know for the longest time, being a perfectionist, being someone who wants to be in control of things, it's very difficult for you to just bring your authentic self. And when I speak about being your authentic self, I'm not saying in a way that will be of harm to others, because sometimes people say, this is my authentic self, but you're harming others. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being your authentic self in terms of your goals, in terms of living in your purpose, in terms of just what you need to do with your life. Being your authentic self trumps everything else, I would say. And also, you don't have to live in your head all the time. Of course, that is something that you have to consistently work on. I'm consistently working on it. I do not have it figured out, even as I speak about it now, but I think it's good if you're always trying your best to live in your authentic self. The other point is, no one knows what they're doing. Everyone is trying to figure things out in life. So when it comes to, for example, work, we would say that we would think that people who have more experienced know everything, but the reason that they know a lot is because of the experience. It's not because they were born knowing everything. Is like, for example, if someone has worked somewhere for 10 years, then they have that experience, and because they have that experience, and you're able to be like, okay, this person knows what they're doing, they know a lot of stuff. But it is because of the experience, not because they know everything, so I would say not everyone knows everything. Give yourself grace, and also give others grace, because everyone is trying to navigate life, be it like people in their 50s, be it people in their 60s, be it even people in their 30s like me, trying to navigate, trying to figure things out. So no one knows everything. So as you see other people navigating and trying to figure things out, also you're trying to figure things out, it helps you to be, it encourages you to know that you're in that journey, and that it's a journey for everyone. So it also helps if you're someone who struggles with perfectionism like me. It helps you to be able to kind of remove that mentality. So the other point that I wanted to talk about is about the body aging, and in relation to the heart and the mind. So when I was younger, I used to think, when you age, like you're old, and other people are young and stuff like that. But as I've gone through life, I've realized that even the older people just have a young heart. It's just that the body betrays you at some point, and it's like, oh, my knees are not working, and all that, and my skin has lost its elasticity and stuff. But at the end of the day, deep within, we are all young at heart. People in their 70s are still young at heart. And to have conversations with everyone, be kind to everyone, give everyone a chance. And yeah, we're just all young at heart, I would say. The other point that I would say is being grateful in all situations. I was saying, even when you're going through difficult moments, for example, being grateful, and it doesn't have to be immediately. Let me just say that, because sometimes when you're going through something difficult, because I can remember like 3 days ago, I was going through something so difficult, and it was hard for me to be grateful in that moment. So I think it's okay to just also be in your feelings, be like, okay, I'm going through something difficult, this is hard now, but then also having the mindset of, when things die down and you're feeling a little bit better, go back and remember the good things that have happened in your life and be grateful. So for me, I would go to for example, to my Instagram or to my memories, and be able to see the things that have happened for me, the good things that have happened. If it's travel, if it's, for example, getting a new car, if it's, for example, getting that new job. So I would go back, and I will, because I go into prayer, I would tell God, I'm grateful that I have shelter. I'm grateful that I have food, I'm grateful that I have a job. So I'm always going to God, and just being grateful. And that motivates, I think for me, it motivates me, because I'm like, okay, I may not have everything else figured out now, but I know that, I know the things that have happened in the past, which I'm grateful for, which means I have more things to be grateful for, even in the future. So I think being grateful is such a great thing. And then being open-minded, and also being patient with other people. I would say being open-minded by listening to other people. In the past, I used to be very close-minded, like whatever I think, that's it. And not being able to give other people a chance to say their bits, and be able to have conversations and listen to other points of view. But as I've gone through life, I'm like, okay, because listening to other people is also a point of learning for me. And no one is, as I've said before, no one knows everything. So we're always all learning, whether it's from younger people or older people or people in the same age group. We're always learning. So be open-minded, listen to what other people have to say, listen to people's experiences, and it helps you grow. It helps you create that open mind to be able to grow yourself as well. So I would say that, and then being patient with everyone, because everyone goes through things, everyone is going through something, so be patient with people. Yeah, I think I was just giving the story of when I went to the salon and my salonist was going through something and she had to leave me for a few minutes, for like 30 minutes actually. And I could feel myself getting angry because I'm human. We are all human. I could feel myself getting angry and I was like, okay, why is she not doing my hair and stuff? Where has she gone to? But then when she came, when I saw her passing through and I could see like she was going through like something emotional, I was like, okay, I need to calm myself down, and be understanding that she is going through something. She is also human, and being able to give her the grace. So be patient with everyone that you meet. Allow them to, don't be mean to people, don't be rude to people, because everyone is going through something, everyone is trying to navigate different situations. So be kind, be good. And then the last thing that I would say, just to summarize everything, I would say put God first. Be open-minded and listen to other people. Be patient with people around you, and yeah, and we're all learning. There's no one who has everything figured out. We're all learning. We're all in a journey. So if you want to share your bits on the comments, just being able to tell us what you have learned through whichever age group you're in, what you have learned through the years, and more, and we can be able to learn from each other as well. So that would be great. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me in this conversation, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.